What's going on, YouTube? I hope you're all well, and welcome back to Dragon Age Origins. I got my morning coffee, and I am ready to go to bed and see what Iona has in store for us. Testing out some new video settings for you guys today, so see if we can ramp up the quality a little bit. Try and get around YouTube's terrible encoder.
Your hound is making so much noise. He seems so angry.
I'm gonna trust the dog's instincts here. Perhaps something is wrong.
I thought I heard yelling when I woke up, but now I hear nothing. I'm gonna see if someone's in the hall.
First things first. Let's get our equipment back on. We out here naked. That should be good. And that's our first actual taste of combat.
Right.
Some unknown assassins here in our family's castle.
Here we go.
Do you ever get stuck like that in this game? Move your character forward automatically? Kind of fix the issue.
On your guard.
It's one asshole.
No mercy. Stay still. Let's make this quick, shall we?
Keep an eye on my health here on the sidebar.
At you.
I'm dead.
It's either you or me, and it isn't gonna be me. Where is everyone else?
Okay, so you see this little semicircle right here. The cool thing about Rogue is if you stand within this semicircle, you'll do a backstab bonus damage. That's where you want to be as a Rogue, which is the reason why I recommend playing the Rogue yourself. The AI's never been good at figuring that out.
Darling, I heard fighting outside and I feared the worst. Are you hurt?
I'm fine. What's going on?
A scream woke me up. There were men in the hall, so I barred the door. Did you see their shields? Those are Howe's men. Why would they attack us?
Well, we did read a lot in the codexes about the tensions between our families. His betrayed father, he attacks while our troops are gone.
You don't think Howe's men were delayed? On purpose? That bastard. I'll cut his lying throat myself. Have you seen your father?
Mama's about
He never
us.
came to bed.
Maybe he stayed up with all Howe.
We must find him.
We should check on Ariana and Aaron as well.
And trust his mercy. What if the soldiers went into your brother's room first? Let's check on them quickly. Then we'll look for Bryce downstairs.
Yeah, our brother's wife and child are in this floor of
This
the
should be easy
castle.
enough.
Right across the hall, actually.
As you wish.
No! My little Oren. What manner of fiend slaughters innocents?
If you were curious about Howe's intentions and character, I'll make them pay.
How is not even taking hostages? He means to kill all of us. Oh, poor fuckers. Let's go, I don't want to see this.
Yeah, that's rough. The wife is one thing, but the child is another.
Perhaps we can salvage some things here, darling.
It's a longbow and a
Some of your
shield.
father's belongings are in that trunk.
Give the longbow
Let's get
to
started.
Eleanor. Let's see. We'll try and keep her out of combat as much as we can during this. Well, let's run back to the tactics page. So rapid shot, to my knowledge, as far as I know, is completely broken in this game, and you never want this to be a thing. Rank, elite or higher. For things like this, like pin and shot, I like to just tell them to use that on a higher ranking enemy. It's wasted on the little, like, Hickmans. But Pretty good against high ranking elites. The dog leveled up too. Pure strength for him. Again, going through the tactics like that is kind of my no pause style of gameplay. I like to set them up so I don't have to touch it.
You're all dog meat, that's what.
That's your ass.
The Cousins will not fall to the likes of you.
Damn straight. Yeah, the mother here is a badass. She wants to smoke.
How dare you?
Making a light work of Howe's men. These bitches had the element of surprise and they still can't take us.
Right. As you wish.
Oh, dear Landra.
Right.
I'm so sorry. If she hadn't come to me, if she hadn't been here.
It's our mother's friend dead on the floor. And no witnesses or survivors, huh? Doesn't want anybody reporting this.
Can you hear the fighting? Howe's men must be everywhere.
How can we get out of the castle? We gotta get our mother to safety.
The servants' passage leads out from the larder. But we must find your father first. The front gates. That's where your father must be.
We can't just let Howe win.
Listen, darling. We haven't much time. If we can't find your father, you must get out of here alive. Without you and Fergus, the entire Cousin line dies here. If Howe's men are inside, they must already control the castle. We must use the servants' entry in the larder to escape. Do you hear me?
I hear you.
Then let us be swift.
I'd take vengeance if we're dead. She's making a valid point.
Let's get started.
So he faked a delay, basically, and then his men got here in the dead of night and started overtaking the castle, slaughtering everybody in their sleep. It's an apt plan.
The castle has fallen! I'm getting out of here!
Don't be a coward. Stand and fight.
Yes, my lord! Here
Good
they
man.
come!
Alright, so we gotta be really careful with the Mabaris. Let's try and get this dude dead first. Perfect.
On your guard.
Let them be occupied as they are. Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try and pull her back a little. Yeah, that's good. I got the Mabari's attention. Let's do pin and shot. Beautiful. The main threat for this fight is gone. Again, try and keep the infantry off the archer as best you can. This guy's ass is grass. As you level up your rogue, that semicircle is gonna get bigger. But right now, it's just worry about slaughtering Howe's little bitch boys. Perfect. So before you move on around the castle, I recommend just hanging out for a second and letting these bars move back up. Because the way that the mechanics of this level are, is as you move around, you're just gonna get jumped. I recommend hanging out and letting this regenerate. It doesn't take that long. You're gonna run into a lot of random ambushes here, so.
Enemies approaching. Yeah! As you wish. Show me what you got.
Love the messy kills in Origins.
Desperation is an ugly perfume.
That's his ass. And we got some more troops here. Fighting for the cause. I love the combat in this game. I know to some people it might seem really dated, but I love it. It is so satisfying to pause and unpause. Your targets have to be tactical, even if it's to a minor degree. Compared to how I could be playing this game, it's still fun.
It's either you
My
or
favorite game for a reason, I suppose. There's gonna be a lot of me giving it an ego massage. I actually met some developers who worked on this game, and man, so I'm usually a calm person, right? I don't typically fall to fanboying. But when I met the people who worked on this game, I ain't gonna lie, I was a little fanboyed out. I was definitely impressed. I got the chance to talk to a couple of the developers, actually.
Aldous. You will be avenged, old sage. I swear it.
There goes the tutor. Rest in peace. They really are just indiscriminately slaughtering the whole castle. Yeah, as you see, you just get randomly jumped here. This happened because our dog's mechanics is set to aggressive. So you have to be really careful with aggressive behavior on your character, because he will totally just charge as soon as he sees an enemy. Gotta get this Mabari going. Kind of chugging more than I'd like to be here. Okay, now we're good. They should be able to take care of the Mabari, and we'll take care of the archers. Try not to get a death here. There we go, wonderful. Dead like the rest of your friends. Yeah, all the people I met that worked on this game were all really cool, and actually still really passionate and proud of the fact that they made this. Which is really nice to see, that they loved it as much as I did. I'm not sure how thrilled they would be with the current progression of the franchise, but it's cool to see how passionate they still were about this game.
As
We're
you
getting
wish.
close to the treasury. The Cailan family blade lies inside. Here, darling, take my key. That blade cannot fall into Howe's hands. It should sever his treacherous head.
Absolutely.
Let's get started.
It's like guys who were playing cards familiar.
As you wish. This should be easy enough.
Axe Shopo. Scale armor. There's the shield of Highever and the family blade. I'm actually not too sure. What is the scale armor? Ah, you need strength for that. Okay. We'll be working on strength slowly but surely. I need to double check if a certain perk that you get later in the game is effective for gear equips. Because there's a perk that replaces your strength stat with your cunning stat, which is very ideal for a rogue. It's if you spec up a bard. However, I'm not sure if that applies to gear equips or just damage and stat checks. So I have to check on that. Either way, I was always going to get strength to 12 because I hate uneven numbers. But I will have to check and see what effect that actually takes on things. I'm more than willing to run around and get Howe's men to spawn in here, slaughter as much of his force as I can. He might take the castle, but he's not going to take it easy.
Let's get started.
Actually, a tough fight coming up soon here on Nightmare that is hit or miss sometimes. See how that goes. Kind of try and give gameplay tips when it's relevant. Played this game a lot on Nightmare. I know what I'm doing somewhat.
It's either you or me, and it isn't gonna be me.
I will
Let's
drive
make
you
this
from our
quick,
land
shall we?
Animations are clean. It has a lot, the combat has a lot of weight to it, even though you're not necessarily mashing buttons like an action game. I feel like every attack feels weighty. Like the animations for the messy kills just feel chunky. It feels impactful. Very satisfying. Alright.
Let's get started. We're under
The rogue is a little... I think rogue is probably the weakest class from rip. Mage is undeniably the strongest class from jump. When you're playing mage, that's out the box, it's like the strongest class in the game. And I would say sword and shield probably second, two-handed warrior probably third, and then any kind of rogue is going to be the slowest to build up. You good back there, hiding while we fight? But the rogue end game is easily one of the most powerful. Okay, this fight can be a shit show. I recommend pausing here. In equals, highlight all your party, and focus this mage. It can be a little tricky.
I'm busy at the moment.
But we are gonna try and pin and shot her. And then at the what we don't want is her chain line inability to go out. And we're good, we got her. Now that she's dead, this room becomes a lot less dangerous. A good general rule for combat in Dragon Age Origins is kill the mage first. It becomes easier later with certain abilities we're gonna get for our local mage, but kill the mage first. Mages are the problem. Those are the things that are gonna kill you. Whether that's a Darkspawn mage, it's a Vinter mage, or whatever mage it is, they are the problem. They die.
Get out of my way!
Once you get the mage dead, everything becomes very, very easy. Not easy, but controllable.
Go, man the gate. Keep those bastards out as long as you can. Your ladyship, my lord, you're both alive. I was certain Howe's men had gotten through.
Have you seen my father?
He was looking for you two. He told us to hold the hall as long as possible. When I realized what was happening, it was all I could do to shut the gates. But they won't keep Howe's men out long. If you've another way out of the castle, use it quickly.
Where's the Grey Warden?
I've no idea. You don't think he's involved in this, do you?
Perhaps he was sent to kill Bryce? Oh dear.
You know there's no way
you
the
seen
Warden's
him?
involved.
When I last saw the turn, he'd been badly wounded. I urged him not to go, but he was determined to find you. He went towards the kitchen. I believe he thought to find you at the servants' exit in the larder.
Bless you, Sir Gilmore. Make her watch over you.
Make her watch over
Yeah,
us
Wardens
all.
have a rule of being completely apolitical. They don't take sides. They don't support kings as such. Like, Cailan is catering to our order pretty well right now because he actually believes it's a blight for various reasons that you'll see. You can make your own decision on Cailan's character. However, so he kind of getting some support from Duncan, but they don't assassinate kings or nobles and shift the stem of power in the country. It's not in a warden's purview. Like he said, he didn't even want to make our father irritated by recruiting us with the right of conscription, so find it hard to believe that a man not willing to even slightly irritate the nobles of Ferelden would be willing to start assassinating them.
Bring everyone!
You guys would have been better off staying in here, actually, until I clear the way.
This should be easy enough.
Getting lots of loot.
It's either you or me. It's gonna be me.
A little clunky sometimes. It's okay. We'll still be fine. They ain't got anything on us. Again, if you get stuck in the physics like that, just run forward. When you're trying to auto attack and run for something, it can get stuck. But if you hold WASD on your keyboard, it cannot get stuck. You'll just clip right through and be able to get into position. Hear the firing off in the distance throughout the whole castle. Okay, now here, I recommend saving here. because as soon as we round this corner, the toughest fight in the entire tutorial section is coming up. So this guy's an asshole.
Tingling.
Do anything you can to get this guy out of there first.
Do you actually think you have a chance?
Whatever it takes to get him dead is what you gotta do. Okay, he already used Growl. We're on the deck, unfortunately. It is very, very easy to die in this fight.
Here we go.
Make sure you keep an eye on your positioning, your health. I think he finally got mad at our mother. Which is good, because now we get backstabs. And he's dead. Now the rest of this, again, is very controllable. Just systematically pick these guys off now. Very good. Alright, what do we get from Howe Knight? I'll take the health potion. Would have preferred his big hammer, but...
On it.
Speaking of big hammers, I have actually recently, I talked a little in my Mass Effect series about how I'd been working out with kettlebells a lot and how much I recommended kettlebells. I've recently gotten into mace bell training, which is a very fun and effective way to stay fit. Anybody who loves unconventional training, just never really enjoyed going to a gym, I highly recommend a mace bell and checking out channels like the Flowing Dutchman. What is the other? The mace guy, Rick John, I think. Or Rick Brown, excuse me. Anybody like that. Maces are very good, would recommend.
Right.
And there's Nan. We killed the childhood cook too. And don't worry about Hal though. We're gonna be having conversations with him at some point. It's the last thing I do.
There, you both are. I was
Bryce!
wondering when you would get here.
Maker's blood, what's happening? You're bleeding!
Hal's men found me first. Almost did me in right there.
How did you get here? You can hardly move.
Duncan, found me. Brought me here.
And left you lying in your own blood? We must get you out of here!
I won't survive the standing, I think.
Yeah, he's in a bad way. Then we will stay and defend you.
Once Howe's men break through the gate, they will find us. We must go!
Someone must reach Fergus. Tell him what has happened.
And take vengeance.
Yes. Vengeance.
Bryce, no. The servant's passage is right here. We can flee together, find you healing magic.
The castle is surrounded. I cannot make it.
I'm afraid the turn is correct. Howe's men have not yet discovered this exit, but they surround the castle. Getting past will be difficult.
You are Duncan, then? The Grey Warden?
Yes, your ladyship. The turn and I tried to reach you sooner.
My youngest son helped me get here. Maker be praised.
I am not surprised.
Looks like Duncan's been having fun with Howe's men too. Are you going to help us, Duncan?
Whatever is to be done now, it must be quick. They are coming.
Duncan, you are under no obligation to me, but I beg you, take my wife and son to safety.
I will, your lordship, but I fear I must ask for something in return.
Anything.
What is happening here pales in comparison to the evil now loose in this world. I came to your castle seeking a recruit. The Darkspawn threat demands that I leave with one.
I understand.
Oh, you talking about me? Actually, let's, since we know about Wardens giving up their titles and all that stuff from what we read, but what if something has happened to Fergus?
The king will see justice done. The Grey Wardens, however, must face the Darkspawn above all else.
He is right, pup.
I will take the Tyrna and your son to Ostagar to tell Fergus and the king what happened. Then, your son joins the Grey Wardens.
So long as justice comes to Howe. I agree.
Then I offer you a place within the Grey Wardens. Fight with us.
Done. I accept your offer.
We must leave quickly then.
Bryce, are you sure?
Our son will not die of Howe's treachery. He will live and make his mark on the world.
Darling, go with Duncan. You have a better chance to escape without me.
Eleanor.
Hush, Bryce. I'll kill every bastard that comes through that door to buy them time. But I won't abandon you.
That's the loyalty and old school love. I'm not sure that I would leave my partner to die like that either, so I kind of respect her decision. It's loyalty. That's right or die. And as much as I would like to stay, Duncan and my father are right. We have a much better chance of taking vengeance on Howe if we leave her now, and I would like to be the one that cuts his bitch head off. As for this, I completely understand this. They've had a long life together, they want to go out together, right? I love you both so much.
Then live, darling. Become a Grey Warden and do what is right.
I'm so sorry it's come to this, my love.
We had a good life and did all we could. It's up to our children now.
Then go, pup. Warn your brother.
Absolutely.
Know that we love you both.
That's the kind of love I'm trying to find in life.
They've broken through the gates. We must go now.
Goodbye, darling.
Brave woman. That's a strong woman right there. And that little arc is why I always pick Human Noble. None of the other origins get me invested in the overall story like that one. That makes me feel like I'm setting out with a purpose.
We will be traveling south through the hinterlands to the ruin of Ostagar, on the edges of the Korkari Wilds. The Tevinter Imperium built Ostagar long ago to prevent the Wilders from invading the northern lowlands. It's fitting we make our stand here, even if we face a different foe within that forest. The King's forces have clashed with the Darkspawn several times, but here is where the bulk of the Horde will show itself. There are only a few Grey Wardens within Ferelden at the moment, but all of us are here. This blight must be stopped, here and now. If it spreads to the north, Ferelden will fall.
Ho there, Duncan.
King Cailan. I didn't expect
A royal welcome? I was beginning to worry you'd miss all the fun.
Not if I could help it, Your Majesty.
Then I'll have the mighty Duncan at my side in battle after all. Glorious. The other wardens told me you'd found a promising recruit. I take it this is he?
Allow me to introduce you, Your Majesty.
No need, Duncan. You are Bryce's youngest, are you not? I don't think we've ever actually met.
Are you not even aware my father is dead?
Dead? What do you mean? Duncan, do you know anything about this?
Terran Cousland and his wife are dead, Your Majesty. Arl Howe has shown himself a traitor and overtaken Highever Castle. Had we not escaped, he would have killed us and told you any story he wished.
I can scarcely believe it. Well, how could he think he could get away with such treachery? As soon as we are done here, I will turn my army north and bring Howe to justice. You have my word.
Say what you want about Cailan from what other people have said, but I believe him. He seems like he genuinely cares about that. Thank you, Your Majesty. Well, actually, what kind of justice?
He will hang. I know that will not bring your family back, but Howe will not profit from this. No doubt you wish to see your brother. Unfortunately, he and his men are scouting in the wilds.
I am not eager to tell him, Your Majesty.
Of that, I have no doubt. You will see him again once the battle is over, I am certain. I apologize, but there's nothing more I can do. All I can suggest is that you vent your grief against the Darkspawn for the time being.
We can definitely do that. So long as all Howe pays, I'm happy.
I'm sorry to cut this short, but I should return to my tent. Loghain waits eagerly to bore me with his strategies.
Your uncle sends his greetings and reminds you that Redcliffe forces could be here in less than a week.
Ha! Eamon just wants in on the glory. We've won 3 battles against these monsters, and tomorrow should be no different.
I didn't realize things were going so well.
I'm not even sure this is a true blight. There are plenty of Darkspawn on the field, but alas, we've seen no sign of an archdemon.
Disappointed, Your Majesty?
I'd hoped for a war like in the tales. A king riding with the fabled Grey Wardens against a Tainted God. But I suppose this will have to do. I must go before Loghain sends out a search party. Farewell, Grey Wardens.
You can kind of see where the airhead criticism comes from, what all Howe was talking about, but I think Cailan's a solid man. It's a good king, I think.
What the king said is true. They've won several battles against the Darkspawn here.
Yet you don't sound very reassured.
Despite the victory so far, the Darkspawn horde grows larger with each passing day. By now, they look to outnumber us. I know there is an archdemon behind this, but I cannot ask the king to act solely on my feeling.
What would you have him do?
Wait for reinforcements. We sent a call out west to the Grey Wardens of Orlais, but it will be many days before they can join us. Our numbers in Ferelden are too few. We must do what we can, and look to turn Loghain to make up the difference. To that end, we should proceed with the joining ritual without delay.
And we read a lot about Loghain in the Codex episode last time. Basically, him and Marek were the 2 spearheads that kicked Orlais out, so I imagine asking for the help of all Legion Wardens is going to be a touchy subject after what we read about their occupation. Whether it's the Warden's fault or not. What do you need me to do?
Feel free to explore the camp here as you wish. All I ask is that you do not leave it for the time being. There is another Grey Warden in the camp by the name of Alistair. When you're ready, seek him out and tell him it's time to summon the other recruits. Your hound can stay with me while I attend to some business. The Grey Warden tent is on the other side of this bridge. You will find us there should you need to.
Alright, we gotta level up. Let's see what we can do here before we wrap up. We know that we need more cunning, so we'll pump that a little. Alright. So we have dual striking, which is when in this mode this character strikes with both weapons simultaneously. Attacks cause more damage, but the character cannot inflict regular critical hits. Where's momentum? This is what we want eventually, so we are going to go ahead and just grab dual sweep. It'll also give us more shiny things on our action bar. Right, so the next episode for Ostagar is going to be a big one, so I think I'll just wrap up here, because there's going to be a lot of running around and a lot of talking next episode, and I'm also going to show you some tips and tricks for making some gold. So, thanks for watching everybody. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, leave a like and a comment. If you want to support the cause and help improve the channel, there is a tip link in the description below. Otherwise, stay tuned, and I'll see you guys soon with more Dragon Age Origins. Take care, guys.